In this video, what I'm going to be showing you guys how to do is the Photoshop equivalent of full spindle and mutilate. I'm going to be doing a diagonal cut through two photographs. So, first of all, we're going to set a document window to 18 by 18 with a resolution of 150 dpi. There we go. And now in another folder off here on the side, I have two photographs located already that I'm going to move in for the purpose of doing the demo. So I'm going to grab both of them at the same time and pull them in. There's one, and there's the other. Now you'll notice that they are both of a different size, and that's fine. I want it that way. So that I can show you how to make them the same size. So right now they've come in on each of them on a layer of their own, and they're smart objects. You can tell that by this little icon in the corner of the layer. So I'm going to take both of them, click on them, do a right click, and rasterize the layers. Now the one that's on top is the one that I want to change the size of. So in order to do that, I'm going to grab a hold of it here and do edit and transform and scale. Because what I want to do is I want to bring that up in size so that it is the same size as the one below, side to side. There we go. That ought to do it. But I want to make it the same size as the one below, top to bottom. So I'm going to drag the top one down below, and using the bottom one as a mask, I'm going to draw a border around the top one. However, with the bottom one selected, which it was already, and I'm going to do edit, select inverse, and hit delete. That gets rid of all of the extraneous information that was located on the bottom one. Okay, so now I have these two photographs, and I'm going to do kind of a slice and dice through them. In order to do that, now you'll notice that I purposely made my document window much larger than the photographs. And the reason for that was because I've got some place to work in. Alright, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to establish some guides. So I'm going to go down here to New Guide Layout. And I already had some set up from before. I've got 12 areas, layers, columns across, and no indications top to bottom. And that's fine. That's pretty much what I want to do with it. And I'll say OK. Now you could set that to whatever you wanted. You could make it 10, you could make it 15. I had 12. So all I'm doing and using these for is locations for making my cuts. Now I'm going to do edit and transform, rotate, but I want to make sure that I rotate them both at the same time. So I want to make sure I've got them both selected. I'm going to go edit, transform, and rotate, and I'm going to rotate both of them like about so. Now you'll notice, you can see now that these columns are lining up with where I'm going to make the slices through the various images. Now, I'm going to go in and I'm going to label this top one Photo 1, and I'm going to label this bottom one, the bottom one is labeled Photo 1, the top one is going to be labeled Photo 2. And you can make it either way, it doesn't really matter. So, what I'm going to do first, though, I'm going to shut off 1. I'm going to go on to 2, and I'm going to use my marquee tool, and I'm going to make a cut. I'm going to start up fairly high and come down, even though it's pretty much this area right here that I'm worried with on this particular photo. And I'm going to do edit, and I'm going to do cut, and I'm going to do edit, and here's where I'm going to do paste special, paste in place, because I want that piece going right back where I cut it from, and you'll notice it's created a separate layer of its own. So now I'm going to label this up here P-P 1-1. And that means that that's photo 1, slice number 1. Okay, I'm going to go back into the photo. I'm sorry. I think I may have made a mistake. Yes, I'm cutting up photo 2. So I'm going to make that P2-1. There we go. See, even I make mistakes. Okay, so now I'm going to make my second cut through this. There we go. Make sure that I'm on that one. Edit, cut, edit, paste, paste in place, paste special, paste in place. Puts it right back where I had it before. Again, I'm going to enable that one P, this time -2, -2, because that's the second slice through my photo. Now I'm going to go over here, make another slice through it. This will be the third one. And I may pause this for a moment because you don't need to watch me do all of these, but I think you get the idea. Edit, cut, edit, paste special, paste in place. Puts it right back where it was. Okay, so this one again is going to be P-2-3 for the third slice. Okay, so I'm going to pause this for a moment, and I'll pick up here when we get to the second one, the second picture. Okay, I've come back into this again to show you really quickly, and then I'll do the other image. But you can see that photo number 2 has completely disappeared as an entity and has now been sliced and diced up into 8 parts. I can turn those on and off here so that you can see that they will all go away. All right, so that's how we get our slices through the images. I'll pause it again and start it up again when I have completed the same process with photo number 1. Okay, I have done both photographs all the way through. The one that's showing here is photograph number 1. The 8th slice is still showing right here. All right, so I have 16 layers, P1, 1 through 8, and P2, 1 through 8. All right, so now we need to decide which of these we want to keep and which ones we'll want to get rid of. So we can alternate. I can go, okay, I'm going to keep this one from 1, and I won't be using the one from 2. I'll be using this one here, and I won't be using this one. I'll be using 5, and I'll be using 7, but not 8. And the other one, I will be using the even numbers, obviously. So I'm going to be using 2, 4, 6, and 8. What am I missing? Nothing. Okay. So now you can see that I have the 2 images superimposed one over the top of the other, just like we did when we actually did the slices. And now I can take and move these independent of one another because each one is on a layer of its own. So I'm going to move this one up, and I'm going to move this one down. And this is all arbitrary, by the way. I don't want to move them left and right, obviously, because I want to try to keep them inside the same columns that I've created them in. And I'm going to move this one here. I'm going to move this one down quite radically. All right. Now I'm going to go in and move the even numbered ones. Move 2. Move that one up some. I'm going to move 4. I'm going to leave 4 where it is. I'm going to move 6 down. And I'm going to leave this one where it is. So now you can see that we have sliced and diced 2 images and made them go in different directions. Now we're going to want to apply the filters, and in order to do that we're going to want to undo what we did, which was take all of the images that were like all of the ones that are P2s, we're going to want to put those on a layer of their own. So I'm going to shut all of these off right now that are the even numbered ones, because I want just the odd numbered ones, obviously. And I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go to the first one, and I'm going to call this one Photo 1, rather Photo 2 slices. And I want to keep these all on one layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off the background so I don't merge it down. I'm going to take the ones that are on, and we will do Layer Merge Visible. Okay, so now all of these layers are on one layer. All of these slices are on one layer. And I can apply a filter to that one separately. So I'm going to go Filter, and I'm going to use something from the filter gallery. What will I use? No, let's see. I want to use the filter gallery. I'm going to use Stylize, Diffuse, and I'm going to do something with those. Cancel. No, I'm not going to do that. Hold on just a minute. I'm going to pause and I'll come right back. I'm sorry. What I was looking for was I wanted to go to Filter, Filter Gallery, and bring up the various gallery attributes that you can mess around with here inside of Photoshop. I'm pretty big here, so I can't really see what it is that I'm affecting, and I don't want to go down here and mess with my enlargement and whatnot too much, because of the fact that I'm afraid that I will stop this recording. So I'm just going to go in and apply the rough pastel to that and say, okay, we'll see what it looks like. There we go. We've applied the rough pastels to this section of stuff here. Maybe I don't think that that's radical enough. I'm going to go back into and choose Filter Gallery and open up something else, and I'll do Fresco just to be weird. There we go. Now we've done filter and the pastels. Okay, I'm going to stop that one, and I'm going to go down and turn on all of the even numbers below. So I want 2, I want 4, 6, and 8, and I want to take those 4 and I want to merge those. So I'm going to go to Layer, and want to put those onto this layer here, which I will call Photo 1 Slices. There we go. And I'm going to do Layer Merge Visible, and that will put all of the Photo 1 slices on a layer of their own. And then I can go up here and do, again, the Filter Gallery, and apply a filter to those. I'm going to do plastic wrap and say OK. So now I've got plastic wrap applied to the photo number 1, and I've got that Fresco with 2. Okay, now that I've got these sliced and I've got filters applied to them, I can take those 2 layers, bring them down next to one another so that I can now manipulate them back into position. So I'm going to do Edit and do Transform and Rotate again. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate these back to where they started from. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Hold on here. I want to rotate both layers together. So I'm going to go up here and do Edit Undo so that's back where it was. I'm going to hold down my Shift key so that I've got both layers selected at the same time, and do Edit and Transform, Rotate. Now I can move them both together. There we go. And what I wanted to do is get them back into some kind of a position that's close to, you know, where it started off from before I did my slices. That doesn't look too bad. I'm going to turn my white background back on, and to complete everything, I'm going to go to Filter, or sorry, View, and shut off extras. That gets rid of the lines. So that's kind of an effect towards what I want you to do. You can apply more radical filters to these if you want to. You'll notice, as I said, that you can do different filters on different layers, or you can do the whole thing together all at once. In order to do that, you would take both of these layers now, and I'm going to shut off the background because I don't want it as part of it, and I'm going to do layer, merge visible. So now both of the photo 1 and photo 2 slices are on one layer. I'm going to bring in one guide because I still don't think that I'm straight up and down. Nope, I'm not. You can see that. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to View, get rid of my extras. I'm going to go to View and set up a new guide layer so that I'm just dealing with one clear canvas guides, and do View, New Guide Layout, and I only want one column. And it's off on the side here, which isn't doing me a hell of a lot of good. So I'm just going to grab that and move it over. There you go. And you can see I'm a little closer on the top than I am below. It's just me, but boy, I caught that. Edit, transform, and rotate. Wasn't quite lined up. There we go. I think that's better. It's funny how you can pick up things like that. Anyway, so now I'm going to take that and apply one more filter to the whole thing. I'm going to go into the filter gallery. There we go. You can see up close now what those look like. And I'm going to do paint daubs to the whole thing just so that you can see. There you go. So that's what you can do. The other thing you can do with this is you can go into, you can double click that layer. Come on. There we go. And you can do a drop shadow. There you go. If you wanted to do something like that. Now I've got a drop shadow with both drop shadows going up and down. Maybe I don't want to do that. It's doing it because of the blur effect too. So anyway, that is how you go about making your changes and applying your filters and making your slices in Photoshop. So this is the Photoshop version of doing the fold, spindle, and mutilate project. Okay? All for now. See you guys in the next video.